Talk Radio, you're in to all things music.
Welcome to Jackie's Groove. Come journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
Everybody, welcome. It's Jackie Bertoni, Jackie's Groove, brought to you by Talk Radio Network. You're into all things music. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, May 19th. Can you believe this month is blown away? And you know what's going to be blown away is today's show with my new musical sister. I got to tell you a quick little synopsis itself with Tarah and her wife, Leslie. We had a beautiful Mother's Day celebration here at the house. Our dear friend, Jonna Clavin, happens to be good friends with Leslie, and she said, would you mind if we brought a couple friends? I said, absolutely. And so we welcomed Tarah and Leslie into our home, and Tarah and I connected like we've known each other for years. And the first thing that got my attention is when I saw on the back of her SUV, she had a DW, a drum workshop logo on the back of the windows. Right there, it kind of gave me the end to talk. Needless to say, 6 hours later, we felt like we grew up together. So, with that said, guys, we're gonna have a rock and roll day today, man. Something that is a little bit out of my wheelhouse, but it's a very, very cool thing because I'm being educated into this power trio called Tarah Who. So, with that said, guys, I want everybody to welcome with open arms and open ears to Jackie's Groove. Please welcome Tarah Carpenter, better known as Tarah Who. Tarah, welcome, my love.
Thank you. Thank you, Jackie, for having us.
And also joining us together is your bassist, Matt Pelcher. Am I saying that correctly, Matt?
Yeah, that's correct. Hi, everybody.
Okay, cool, man. And you got people all over the world listening, man. So this is all about doing one thing, promoting the hell out of Tarah's music and also the show in which we're really excited about. And that's going to be live performance on June 21st at the Viper Room, the world-famous Viper Room on Sunset Boulevard. And we'll give you the links and the URLs, how to lock up to that. So with that said, Tarah, let's just start out, for the listeners who don't know our relationship and you itself, explain to the listeners where you were born and where you were raised.
I was born in Paris, France, and raised in Paris and in Kentucky. I did go to Kentucky for a year as an exchange student when I was 15. Okay. Yeah, so I feel a little connected.
And you made it out, made it out to California. What year was that?
2006.
Okay, so you're still considered fresh, for the lack of a better word. And I know your background. I mean, I saw the DW sticker, so I assumed it was only a drumming situation. But as we got educated during the day, also in your videos, quite the guitarist also. And how old were you when you started, and what instrument did you pick up first?
First, the drums when I was 14. I wanted to play music. My parents were not really into it. They said, okay, you can learn the piano or the guitar. And I said, but I want to do drums. And they're like, no, that's not a lady's instrument. And I'm like, right. That's what I want to do. My father got me a guitar, a Spanish guitar, classical guitar, that I never really touched. And then I started playing with bands, or not friends, and I just picked up the drums. And then when I moved to Kentucky, I could not play the drums. So I did get myself an electric guitar. And that's how I started learning how to play the guitar. Came back to France, got my drums, my bass, and played in many different bands then.
And that's a cool situation, because I want to find out too, going up in France, coming to America, going back to France, what were your musical influences at that time growing up and to the time that you went back to France before you came back to LA?
Alanis Morissette. I just had eyes for Alanis Morissette. Mm-hmm. that was pretty much it.
And what drove you to her soul, her deep lyrics, her depression?
I think her lyrics, her depression. I don't know.
Right.
I think her lyrics, the music. I don't know. I just connected to what she felt, I guess, when she sang.
And so and because I listened to the music that through Tarah Who, and I'm not hearing any influence in my own side, 'cause maybe I haven't gone too deep into your music, but everything seems to be more of a hard drive. Is there a reason to that aggressiveness in your music? What's spawning you to come together that way and to play those heavy licks like that?
I think I grew up listening to her, and then of course the Foo Fighters. So, right. But I just never thought of writing music to sound like anyone. It was just more what I felt like, and I still write this way.
Now let me ask you this question: how did you meet the motley guy next to you, Matt Pelcher, when you came into Los Angeles with the plethora of bass players out there? What attracted you? Was it through an audition, or were you guys hanging out? Go ahead, Matt. Tell me how you guys hooked up.
Oh, well, they needed a bass player, and I needed a band.
Perfect.
Yeah, actually, I was looking for something high energy, something exciting. I mean, that's what's in my soul, and I found it in Tarah Who, and I heard the music, and I was like, wow, this is what I want, and went for an audition, and we hit it off.
That's the main thing itself. Now, are you doing vocals also?
I do backing vocals.
Okay, very cool. And kids, let's talk about something right now, because I'm kind of intrigued. Actually, I'm very intrigued. I'm trying to figure it out and dissect it. Let's talk about your new release called Half Middle Child Syndrome. Yes. Explain that. Break it down into some logistics and to some layman terms there. What's the story behind that?
The title of the EP?
Yes.
Oh, that's just really stupid. It's because I have an older brother and a younger brother. But my younger brother is a half brother. And since I'm, every time I meet someone here, and, there's, do you have any brothers and sisters or whatever?
Right.
And I say, yeah, I have two brothers. And everyone goes, oh, you're the middle child. So I just thought it was funny, because apparently I'm the middle child, but I'm not really, because I really just grew up with my big brother.
Let me ask you this question, girl, and I'm going to ask this right back to Matt also. The music that was coming through the speakers of the Carpenter household growing up, what was coming through those speakers? What were your influences there? Did your parents strive to have you involved with music itself? Did they understand what you wanted? Did they understand what you do now?
My dad is a doctor, and my mom was a nurse. And
right.
they did not expect me to go into music at all. My mom, every time she cleaned the house, she put the Pink Floyd really loud, or Tangerine Dream, the Rolling Stones. She's the rocker of the house, for sure. And Bruce Springsteen.
And Mom and Dad are still with us?
Yes.
Okay, great. And so they're getting a chance to see some of their daughter's success. Are they understanding the music itself, or are they the typical parents? Why, go ahead and lower the music? I mean, are they behind you?
My mom loves music. She still, to this day, she still puts like Marilyn Manson really loud just to clean their house. She's always been like that. She's 74 years old. She's the rocker. She's a better rocker than I am. And my dad is not musical at all.
And Matt, let's throw this back to you for a second, Matt.
Yes.
What was coming out of the Pelcher household?
Well, I remember I used to play a lot of stuff off the record player, believe it or not.
Right.
my mom was a big ABBA fan. And honestly, hey, they wrote some really awesome songs. And,
serious tunes.
Yeah, and my dad was a big Rolling Stones fan as well, and so I got a lot of music influence from them. My father also was a bass player when he was younger, and I mean, it was they encouraged it, but I naturally pursued music. I wanted to touch every musical instrument I could find. I loved band in school, things like that. You just get involved.
Well, let me ask you both a question now. Let's start back to you for a second, Tarah. If I was to hijack your iPhone right now, what am I going to find in your playlist?
Tarah Who. I don't listen. Well, okay. Tarah Who, The Distillers, Melissa Mauer, Quit Me Love, whole 90s stuff.
Matt, how about you? Back to you, Matt. What about you?
It's a lot of grunge and punk throughout the years.
And speaking of that, do you guys, hope you don't mind, even though this is your show, Tarah, but I want to dedicate today's show to another fallen brother, man. We lost Chris Cornell last night, and I'm still kind of in shock and in absolute awe that we lost this amazing talent of 52 years old, and who was people want to believe that Kurt Cobain was the innovator of rock, the grunge in Seattle area. I beg to differ with that. I think that Chris Cornell was the jump off, when it came to that situation. And, and speaking of that situation with depression and with drugs and with the industry and the moniker and the stereotype that comes with our industry, have either of you faced that situation to the part where that damn devil was barking, or have you been straight all these years?
Well, oh no, I mean, I don't know about Tarah, but I'm human, and you go through things, but I don't know. I mean, I struggle with some like anxiety and depression stuff, but
right there with you.
You get over it, and you know what I have to say about music itself. Music is definitely my therapy. So I thank God for music every day. Honestly. Every day. Every day.
Because you think about it, guys, for a second, just going here and I'm, looking at all the situations. I didn't know how Chris died. Then we found out that it was suicide, and then we found out it was suicide by hanging itself. You have to ask yourself, he was clean for 10 years. And you wonder, we don't know what set him off. And with that said, and of all the great hits, with Audio Slave and such, that he did that. Do you find yourself, Tarah, I'm going to go back to you for a second. Do you find yourself when you're down, and we all get depressed, not every day we wake up and there's dandelions, in our front yard and sunflowers. So do you find yourself when you're down, and if you and Leslie are not grooving for whatever reason, do you find yourself motivated to write at that time, or do you stay away from the pen?
That's when I write the most.
At best.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems that... Go ahead.
When I feel... I'm sorry. When I feel really sad or angry, that's when I can write.
Why is that? To the listeners out there, what is there? Is the aggression, the pores opening in the body? Is your mind, focused? Is it angry at that time that makes your, the endorphins and music come out?
Yeah, I think so. I think because I need to let it out, and my only way to let it out and feel better is just to write it down on a piece of paper.
And Matt, let me ask you this question, and I don't care if she's sitting right next to you, I don't care if she's the leader of the band. Is Tarah an easy woman to work with? She is a woman, and I don't mean that to be chauvinistic, but and we all. I'm married 34 years. Tarah, I don't know how long you and Leslie have been married, and my God, 2 women. That estrogen must be just, hell on a handbag. But with that said, I mean, is she an easygoing boss, for the lack of a better word? Does she have her thumb down on the band, or does she take your talents and she lets you run with that?
It's interesting. It's, in all fairness, it's quite literally a little bit of both. She's very, very on top of everything. And it's just, but at the same time, that's what attracted me to the band, because the passion is what I feel and what I'm looking for in a band, because
right.
I mean, it's living for the music. That sounds so cliche, but I mean, it's like, what else do I want to do? Exactly. But at the same time, there's a lot of creativity we can insert, and we can add to it. It feels great because it feels like it feels great to be participating in this and going the route that we're going. And it brings a lot of life to my life,
Absolutely. And I want to ask a question. And Tarah, I'm going to get this because a question came across here. Tarah Who? Why the Tarah Who?
The question.
Okay, so the real answer is that Tarah is not my real name, and I had to change. I had to find an artist name because my real name was already taken by another artist in France. And when I was booking shows, people thought I was her, so they expected something. Yeah, they expected her to show up, and she played hip hop and French rap. So when I played my loud rock, they were not really happy, and vice versa. Sometimes I did not get shows because they thought I was her. So I choose an artist name, and Tarah comes from the goddess Tarah. If you're into Buddhism or whatever. Yes. And also one of my first friends in, I think it's kindergarten, you say here. Her name was Tarah, and she had cancer. She was going through chemo, and she did not have hair, and I was her only friend. And I don't know, I first wrote a song for her, but now I decided to use her name. And then I was booking a lot of shows in Paris, and we did not have a band name. And then one of the emails I sent to my bandmates at the time was like, Tarah Who? So if you're wondering where Tarah comes from, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, how about we just take Tarah Who as the band name, because we needed it a band name.
I love it. Now, I'm going to interrupt you kids right now. Again, I told you before, Tarah, how fast these segments go. So we're 15 seconds left in segment number 1. We're going to be stepping out of 1, coming into 2 with some more music and everything. Do you want to know about Tarah Who? And I was afraid to ask, and Mr. Matt Pelcher also. So you guys don't go anywhere. Jackie Bertoni, Jackie's Groove, brought to you by Intertalk Radio Network. You're in to All Things Music. Guys, don't go anywhere. A lot more to come up. Don't go anywhere. Get yourself a beverage and come right back after these short breaks. Stay tuned.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
You know what's all around you every waking moment of your life? Marketing. You're choking on it. I'm Scott Robertson, and when it comes to strategic PR, branding, and marketing, I've seen it all. And actually, I'm still seeing it because bad marketing never sleeps. Join me each week on May the Best Brand Win, right here on Intertalk Radio, and learn how to make the marketing for your brand unforgettable.
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Intertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Make this your vinyl night. I'm John J.R. Robinson, and every week, music creation comes alive through stories, experiences, and sounds when vinyl records filled our hearts and minds. My friends and I share our tips and techniques used in creation of iconic tracks for recording artists such as Michael Jackson, Eric Clapton, Quincy Jones, and Steve Winwood, to name a few. Vinyl has emerged hot, and the soul of vinyl defines art and passion which burns deepest at night. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on InterTalkRadio.com.
Jackie's Groove. Come journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
Everybody, if you haven't been banging your head against the wall on that song, man, nothing's going to wake you up. Everybody, welcome back to segment number 2, Jackie Bertoni, Jackie's Groove, brought to you by Intertalk Radio Network. You're into all things music, and I was talking to Tarah on the break. Tarah, would you go ahead and give the audience worldwide an introduction in French, please?
Sure. Vous écoutez Jackie Bertoni sur le groove de Jackie.
Man, I don't know about you. Guys, but I need a cigarette after that one, man. So
that's sexy. Yes.
Yeah, man. I gotta tell you something. For those of you out there and you've who know Tarah, Tarah Who, you'll know that this little girl is a petite flower, and what comes out of this little body in the way of music, the woman should be 6'8" and 550 pounds with the power that's coming out of that. I want to, I'm going to tell you something right now. Again, this little girl, and I say this beautiful woman, I will tell you one thing. This girl can pack the food away. I don't know where that woman went, but she sat next to me in our backyard, and you will admit, Tarah, that the spread was quite enjoyable between the waffles and the salmon and everything else. We had a great time, and that's the way we do it at the Bertoni household, man. So the doors are always open, and Matt, you're welcome to walk through those doors also. And you guys, with that said, I'm really having a good time, man. Again, this is a whole new thing for me in the way of music, and with my guest, Tarah Carpenter, but known as Tarah Who, and Matt Pelcher, her bassist. And real quick, if you guys can't hear our live broadcast, do yourselves a favor and go on to iTunes or Google Play and download our easy-to-use and navigate application, 2 words, Intertalk, second radio, and take Jackie's Groove and the plethora of shows that we have on Intertalk Radio with you on the go. It's called Streamy Baby, and it's free. So with that said, guys, welcome back. That last tune that we just heard, do you want to go ahead, guys, and enlighten us where that came from and what the genesis of that song is all about?
Yes, Sirens is about the Paris attacks, actually. I was there when that happened, November 13th. I was actually going to that show, the Eagles of Death Metal show, but I had cramps. And then I decided not to go. My brother, who's not into soccer at all, had tickets to the stadium as well, and he decided to stay because he's not into soccer. We both ordered pizza, and then our phone started ringing like crazy, and they were like, "Hey, you guys are okay? Did you guys go to the concert, whatever?" And I'm like, "What is going on?" Because we were watching a movie, and then we turned on the news, and then we see what happened. We saw what happened, and yes.
Did you guys see my wife was telling me, I didn't see it, but Caprice had saw a documentary on that. Did you guys get a chance to view that documentary that was all based upon?
I did. Eagles of Death Metal documentary about this, right? Yes, I did.
Right. I mean, I definitely got to check it out, and, but, I just go on the positive note here for a second. Growing up half a world away versus, Matt, you're out here, Jackie's out here. We had a thing every Tuesday. Matt, I'm going to put your thinking cap on for a second. It was called Record Release Tuesday. And of all the great record stores that have gone by the wayside, especially in your area, Tower on Sunset, Virgin, Amoeba Music, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. I mean, just that vibe. I talked to all the older guys, and we remember that actual vibe of going in, raffling through the bins, regardless if you were on the CD or not, and back to yesterday when this thing called albums. you know, and so on, you know, and we don't have that, which blows me out of the water, because if you stop and think about it, well, here's not something to think about. It's true. There's 38 Tower records still in full blaze in Japan.
Wow.
You know, everybody outside the U.S. views music differently. I don't know. I'm going to throw this back to you, Tarah. When you grew up in France, did you guys have a record release Tuesday? When were your new releases exposed to the public in France?
What's a record release Tuesday?
Yeah, because you know, out in America, you know, now it's called Record Release Friday or Digital Release Friday, and that's when all the new songs, you know, you couldn't wait because everything through Tower Record. Matt, remember Tower's their free magazine that used to come out and they used to kind of give you a teaser of what was coming out in the next 30 days, and you couldn't wait to find out exactly when that product was coming out. So Tarah, out here, you and then Virgin record stores, they gave you the option of these listening booths and listening bars, so you can actually go out and listen to the songs, you know, before you purchase that, because there's nothing more disgruntling, guys. I'm sure you'll agree with these, you know, full length albums, and all of a sudden you go out and you spend that heavy money, the $15, $20, and there's only two songs. Nothing worse than that is not only the two songs, but you usually try to give the album 3 or 4 tries to see if it locks in. And then the industry got wind of that, and budget came into effect. So people are putting out what is called an EP. This is what you're doing right now, and to see how the actual sales go. I mean, I have a longevity with the group. Wilson Phillips, you know that you were in my studio, Tarah, over the weekend. There are 3 major hits. Their first album sold over 17 million copies. They're self-entitled, so their songs like Impulsive, Hold On, and You Won't See Me Cry, they own the publishing. They own those songs. So the girls are going to go back and re-record the music next month. And basically they're going to say to the record companies, go fuck yourselves. We're going to make the money ourselves. So with that said, to the young listeners out there in your vein of music, and Matt, you know, jump in this also, the music business or the lack thereof, do you understand where it's going right now? Are you happy where it's at right now? You're old enough to remember how it was before. Should I keep my mouth shut and just kind of let the vibe flow, or should we sit there and rally? You know, should we rally around and try to get it back to full circle? Go ahead and talk about that.
I think for us personally, and that everyone's situation is different. For Tarah Who, who's not mainstream music, it's fine because we're independent no matter what. I don't think there's any label that would be interested in what we're doing anyway, because I'm not going to change the way I write.
Right.
So for us, what's going on now is good because you can be independent and do everything on your own thanks to all the social media, all the YouTube. You can release yourself, you can distribute yourself, everything digitally and whatever.
All right, girl.
Yeah.
Okay, kids, I don't know what happened. We had a power surge down here in San Diego, and for whatever reason, you kept getting kicked off, so I don't want to interrupt it anymore. We'll fix it in the mix and when we do the editing. But let's pick it up right now, guys, and I'm sorry for that problem itself, and Matt, I'm sorry also, so you guys can throw that phone back and forth. So with that said, we're still on real time. So where we left off when we talked about this whole thing before, I caught myself singing Every Little Breeze Seems to Whisper Louise. I probably pissed off half the listeners. But with that said, we talked about this, the business itself in general, how things are in America. I was talking to Tarah, and I wanted to find out from her, how did the music business work there? When was it released in France? Was it through record stores and so on and so forth? Go ahead and tell us how it works there.
Yeah.
Worked there.
I remember it being record stores and then going to like Virgin Mega Store and the Snack. That's what we have. Yeah, I don't remember if there was a special day like Tuesday or Friday, but
right.
I just remember following the artist, and then there was a release date, and then everyone would go to the store and just buy a lot of CDs, and I was definitely one of them.
You know, Matt, I'm going to throw this back at you, Matt. You know, there's something that I love. In fact, a lot of the labels now are bringing out digital downloads of liner notes. And for those youngers out there that don't know what liner notes are, that's the Bible to the CD. I can't tell you more times than not, when you pick up a CD and you open that liner note up, and just to see what was recorded at and the words, if at all possible, and the musicians to also find out, hey, so and so's on this album. I didn't know it was on there. Do you miss those? Do you miss those days, Matt, by opening that liner note up and reading about it?
Oh my God, I would get so into it. I would read and look at the lyrics and think about it, and
right.
even like art, that would be put, anything the bands could do to just make it like, oh wow, look at that, that's so cool.
Right.
I loved it all. I took it all in. I looked forward to every new music that was released, and we really had to wait, and it seemed like waiting forever.
Absolutely.
But that just to get home, pop that cassette in the in the player, and like, wow, so cool. Just the best. And you just said that magical word too. It's called cassette. Kids, that's a rectangular plastic little apparatus that if it didn't work well, you took a back of an eraser on a pencil and you tighten up the actual tape itself. So I mean, these are things. These are lost arts. Yeah, remember that? I mean, if that the effect they played that on Facebook. They had a picture of a cassette and they had a picture of a pencil and said, if you guys are old enough to remember what the two of these go along. Matt, how old are you, Matt? I'm 41.
Okay, so you're in the middle of it. You know what's going on. And I truly hope is it oh you're a baby. Please, I have underwear older than you, my love. And it's
know what cassettes are.
There you go.
I did have mixtape too. I'm from France. It's the same.
Yeah, exactly. But it's funny. I have a T-shirt, and the whole T-shirt is all cassettes, and I'm shocked how many people don't know what those are. So with that said, let's get back on the Tarah Who train here. We're going to go. God, I just hate the fact that we lost so much time, but we'll pick it up on the next segment. I want to know more about the show coming up on the 21st of June at the Viper Room. And I want the listening audience to know out there, because what we do on the last segment of a 2-hour or 1-hour show, I bring in my boy, Florentino, and he does the business part about it. He's the one that extracts the information from Tarah, and we're going to find out and let everybody know worldwide how to stalk you, how to patronize you, how to everything that's got to do with you. And I want you to be able to talk about what they're to expect at the show. You and I know we talked about a 45-minute to an hour show. You said possibly. And so we want to make sure that people are there. There's 3 bands, and you're going to talk about more of that when we get back. But there's still so much more to talk about personally and through business. So Florentino, he'll come on in the last segment. We'll chop it up a little bit there. And in the last minute and 7 seconds of segment number 2, I want to talk about the cross section between the U.S. and France and so on. Even though I feel like you guys are in a third world country, and it's not. But the fact is how things differ between, business here and business there, or is it just normal business and status quo all the way around? And then, so we'll do that. And we'll pick that up on the last segment. Forgive me, I feel like the whitest guy on Soul Train right now. I hate when things don't go our way here. And so with that said, guys, don't go anywhere. Grab yourself a beverage. We're going to be back with a great bassist, Mr. Matt Pelcher, and also the leader of the band, Tarah G. Carpenter. And or better known as Tarah Who. And my wife wanted to verify, is it Tarah or Tarah?
Tarah.
Okay, so Tarah. I just want to make sure that I was trying to be phonetically correct on that. So with that said, kids, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on segment number 3 of a 1-hour interview with this beautiful girl from France, Tarah Who. So guys, don't go anywhere. Jackie Bertoni, Jackie's Groove, brought to you by Intertalk Radio Network, blah, 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 blah. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back at the short break. Stay tuned, kids. And I do apologize to the listeners for the debacle.
Hi, this is Tim Dolbear, host of Sound Experience here on Intertalk Radio. And Source Connect by Source Element is the essential tool that we use to link between my studio in Austin, Texas and the WS radio station in San Diego. Now with Source Connect, not only can we communicate in real time and with HD audio, but it's synced up and is of a high enough quality that I can use it for real-time ADR work, remote recording and overdubbing, and it even allows me to remotely control a DAW. Source Connect by Source Element. Affordable, high-quality audio and video connection over the internet for all of your production needs.
You know what's all around you every waking moment of your life? Marketing. You're choking on it. I'm Scott Robertson, and when it comes to strategic PR, branding, and marketing, I've seen it all. And actually, I'm still seeing it because bad marketing never sleeps. Join me each week on May the Best Brand Win, right here on Intertalk Radio, and learn how to make the marketing for your brand unforgettable.
Make this your vinyl night. I'm John J.R. Robinson, and every week, music creation comes alive through stories, experiences, and sounds when vinyl records filled our hearts and minds. My friends and I share our tips and techniques used in creation of iconic tracks for recording artists such as Michael Jackson, Eric Clapton, Quincy Jones, and Steve Winwood, to name a few. Vinyl has emerged hot, and the soul of vinyl defines art and passion which burns deepest at night. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on intertalkradio.com.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Hi, this is Tony Lindsay, lead vocalist with Santana, and you're listening to Jackie's Groove with Jackie Bertone.
Welcome to Jackie's Groove. Come journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertone.
Everybody, welcome back to segment number 3, the final segment of a 1-hour show with my in-studio guest, Tarah Carpenter, better known as Tarah Who, and her bassist, Matt Belcher. So, guys, before this, it's a twofold situation with Pay to Play. We'll talk about that song in a second, but we got to pay bills also, and I want to say hi to real quick to all of our sponsors out there that make this possible for us worldwide. And the first and foremost is our dear friends of ours, Calvin Lee and everybody over at Pitbull Audio. You can reach them at pitbullaudio.com. Basically, they just want you to play it loud. And the other guys, such as our friends at DW, Drum Workshop, LPmusic.com, my choice for 27 years, Vader Percussion, my drumstick of choice, and also Sabian Cymbals. So, with that said, let's get back to this, kids, about the word pay to play. And Matt and I were talking, actually we were cussing on the break. I got to tell you, man, pay to play, we're old enough to understand that. And for the young ones that don't understand it, they're trying to bring that shit back again. And that's just, to me, is the ultimate fucking insult when it comes to musicians, that we actually have to pay to keep somebody's lights on at various clubs. I know how I feel about that. Matt, tell me how much you hate that. And then I want to know from Tarah what spurred that song. So, Matt, take it off first.
Okay. Why I hate that? Well, I think it's really discouraging to a lot of bands that are just trying to get out there, and I mean, they literally just want to get out there and play.
Right.
And next thing, it's like, I have to play to perform. That's weird.
Right.
I mean, we're used to that you'll play somewhere and, they won't pay you, whatever. But you get the opportunity to promote yourself, play your music. Mm-hmm. But it's just, I remember I've had experiences where you're given a bunch of tickets and expected to sell, and you're like 19, and you're just like, okay, I don't even know the first thing about selling tickets. I just know how to play music. And that's just discouraging, bottom line. Horrible.
You know, it is horrible because, you know, the fact of the matter is, you know, we all try. You know, we do. We're very, very, very thankful for the people who sponsor us, people who backline us. You know, as I said before, you know, we work all of our lives to bust our ass to afford the best gear, and then we finally make it to a certain echelon of life, and then that rig starts coming to you free. You know, it's called sponsorships, endorsements. You know, and I just mentioned a second ago about Sabian cymbals. You know, these old corporations that have been around for years, again, me going on 23 years, I think it's very, very cool because I mentioned Pitbull Audio a second ago, and these are, if you guys aren't familiar with Pitbull Audio, I'm talking to you, Matt and Tarah. They're the largest online, and they also have a physical store in National City for everything when it comes to music. I mean, they're going to be bringing up a DW drum sets up there also, but which is really, really cool. On June 3rd, if you guys can make it down in Tarah, you would love this. Sabian is actually having a clinic down at Pitbull Audio, in which they're going to actually be making cymbals out in the parking lot. They're going to be hammering. Yeah, so it's a really cool thing. So these people, the old cronies that make big money, these are multi-million-dollar corporations, but they understand what it is to keep music alive, to keep it going, because the bottom line is our government, and for the lack of a better word, they're too busy taking music out of the schools. I don't know how it is in Europe, but it's an absolutely travesty here in America. And so with that pay-to-play, was there a lot of pay-to-play in France, or was this song basically made up on your side out here in America, Tarah?
In America. We do have some pay-to-plays in France, but no, in France it's more you play for free and everyone's happy. You get beer, you get food. You don't really get paid, but at least you're not paying to play.
Again, please, people understand something. Unfortunately, nowadays, even at the clubs that we're playing at today, I can speak for myself because I still enjoy going to a small club and sitting in and so on. And yes, as long as there's food and beverages, I'm a happy person. But the fact is, when you walk into these places and you're doing these gigs, most musicians are making less now than they were making 20 years ago, which is an absolute that's crime, man. And I don't want to get on the soapbox. All I just tell everybody else out there in the industry listening is 3 words, man. Don't steal music, people. We're not doing this for our health.
Yeah.
You know, we have ropes. Go ahead, honey.
Musicians need to understand that they should not accept those gigs. Because the more they will agree to do things like that, the more they will keep on doing it. So it's both. Yeah.
You're selling yourself short, you know. And speaking of, you know, again, people and groups, companies like the Viper Room, which I've played many a time, still probably one of the hippest clubs on Sunset. So tell the listeners out there, on June 21st at the Viper Room, when are the doors open, Tarah? When are when's the show start? I hate the fact I got all these S's in front of me. So Tarah, when does the show start? When are the doors open? There's 3 bands. What are we looking at in the way of Tarah Who?
So we have 2 bands, one band opening, what's the name of that band? I forget. It's a surprise. We have a surprise and special guest opening and surprise and special guest closing. Now we'll be playing at around 9:30 p.m. We will play the new songs that we just recorded and some old songs for the people that know us quite a while now.
Now, is there going to be a stage break between each act, or are we all sharing each other's instruments and amps?
They like us to use their back line.
Okay. Yeah. Keeps it all done and so on. So, you know, with that said, what is, I don't want to put the, what do you plan to do, where you're going to be in 10 years, but when the release of this EP that comes out, where do you see yourself, and how do you see yourself promoting this more, not just on social media, but how many more shows are we trying to set up after the Viper Room, if not before the Viper Room? What are you going to do to make that successful?
So we want a tour. I'm actually right now planning 2 tours, one on the West Coast from San Diego to Seattle, and then on the East Coast I want to do from Wisconsin to New York. And because I think the East Coast will really like what we're doing right now. Absolutely. And also this EP is it's very special to me because, like I said in the beginning of the interview, I was a big Alanis Morissette fan, and 10 years later, I'm recording with Alanis Morissette's musician, Jason Orm, who performs with her, and he just comes in and he brings me all of the guitars that I have been seeing on stage, and he's like, hey, Tarah, how about we try this one for this song? And then he was amazing. He was, I was just really excited to record with him, but I had no idea he was such a great musician and producer, because he ended up co-producing the EP. And he's just a great human being, just overall. He's just so nice and so cool. And he let me use all of his $3,000 guitars, vintage 1960s guitar,
I love it.
And that was just the best experience. And he should be at the Viper Room performing with us on stage.
Yep.
And that's like the big surprise of the Viper Room.
Hey, and speaking of that, Florentino, are you on, my brother? He should be there by the board. But the CEO, I want to introduce you both to Florentino, other than picking up the phone and saying, hey. So with that said, Matt and Tarah, do me a favor. Please say hi to Florentino. Florentino, say hi to the kids.
Hey, me and Tarah are already old friends. You're late in the game, brother.
No doubt.
Hi, Florentino.
Hi, Florentino.
Nice to meet you. I met you earlier too, Matt. So, sorry, as things go, we had a little bit less time. But like I said, I don't always the gremlins. Jackie always calls me board bumper. I didn't board bump this time though, Jackie. It was my radiating smile just kind of zapped everything, right? So,
absolutely.
Hey, we love having emerging artists on, and I use that in the most complimentary terms because, quite often the people that we have been doing this for quite some time, and they're crazy established, and they've got a lot of wisdom. But lately, especially this week, huh, Jackie? You've been Mr. Emerging Artist guy this week, and
man, and I'm loving it, man. It's all about paying it forward, kids. I was wet behind the ears, more years than I want to admit about. So I had a lot of Jackies out there that helped me through. So that's what we're all about.
Yeah. So, and with that said, there's a new way the business is being conducted, and we're inspired by folks like yourself to share that, because we quite often share what it was like and what the perception is at this particular point. But, a big part of that, obviously, and we were talking about that, you guys are going live with Facebook right now. And sometimes we're able to do that as well. Most often when Paul's around, when he's able to get all the extra pieces of puzzle, and I can help him out with that. But social media is a huge part, and I know you guys do a lot with that. Tell us how we can find out a bit more about the band and what you guys are doing, and how we can go rock out with you at the Viper Room and all that other fun stuff.
Well, so the good thing with the Viper Room is that whoever wants to come to the gig, you can either purchase your tickets online or there directly, but I think it's $2 more. Or if you follow us and send us your first name and last name to our email, we can put you on our guest list. And that's pretty fucking cool, I think.
Share that with us. Share the email with us, please.
Okay, it's Tarah Who, mgmt@gmail.com.
Write that down, kids.
Yes.
Florentino.
Yes, sir.
Let's put some money in these kids' pockets. Let's get some more business done with them.
Yeah. And like Jackie's saying, our albums? We've obviously got the album here. Is there merchandise and all the other fun stuff that they can pick up?
Yes, we are, right after this interview, we're going to order a bunch of T-shirts and hopefully more of those hats that I think people are enjoying.
Handsome hats.
And we're getting stickers and a bunch of little goodies. for that show. We're really excited about the show. And, of course, we're going to press the CD, so it will be available. We are going to, you can hold the CD on the 21st. You will be able to hold it and not just download it.
And you are using any of the services like TuneCore or CD Baby or any of these other distribution services?
CD Baby. Yeah, I do like everything is on CD Baby. I really enjoy their services, and then disc makers to press the CDs.
Oh, nice. Well, hey, that's what people need to know, and that's still how the business is done. And you guys got to check them out at all the fun things that they just mentioned. And when you get a second, if you can shoot us all those URLs and all that other fun stuff, we'll put that on your page that you'll be able to send out to folks on this radio interview. So we'll have that up probably by tomorrow. So that's going to be when Paul gets back. And,
right, I'll send that to you. We'll definitely send that to you.
And I believe the show will be also promoted by K-Rock.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice correlation.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Jackie, I'm going to pass it back to you, sir.
Thanks, brother boy. We got the last 3 minutes here, but I'm telling you that little bit we lost in that really put a crimp in the situation. But let's do this in the last 2 minutes and 47 seconds. I'm going to throw it back to both of you kids. Matt, first as the musician, as the bassist. Who would you say is your favorite bassist industry-wide?
Oh, my gosh. Industry-wide?
Worldwide, industry-wide. Who knocks you out still?
Okay, well, I am a huge fan of Matt Freeman from Rancid.
Right.
He's awesome. I don't know. I like so many of them. I really, truly, thoroughly love playing bass guitar, and I think Chris Novoselic celebrated his birthday a couple days ago. Love that guy. I remember literally watching Nirvana videos. Oh, I totally want to be that guy.
It's definitely an unfair question, man, and I hate to throw that back when there's only such a limited time. And I don't want to interrupt you, which I just did. And Tarah, just for the listeners out there, guitar players, who is top of your list, Tarah?
I don't know. I won't wait. I have no idea. I don't know anything. I can tell you drummers, but I cannot tell you anything about guitar players.
Okay, how about drummer wise? Let's talk about drums.
I love Thomas Lang, Steve Gadd, and I like Taylor Hawkins.
Love it. Hey, you guys, Tarah, I got to tell you, I had a great time today. I had such an amazing time with you on Sunday, and then again, as I said, the doors are always open, and bring that Motley guy next to you, and when you come back out here, Matt, the doors are open, brother, and we'll, and maybe just do something acoustic in the studio, and maybe put it up on Facebook and see what we can do with that. So, with that said, guys, I want everybody to go out there and please investigate everything that Tarah is about. And that is tarahwho.com. And in the Viper Room again, June 21st, 3 bands. They are the headliners. So you want to go ahead and get tickets that way. Or again, follow up with the email and your name and so on. And they can be put on the guest list. Nowadays, that's a rarity, And so with that said, guys, I want everybody to thank personally my in-studio guest, beautiful Tarah G. Carpenter, better known as Tarah Who, and also Matt Pelcher. You guys, thank you so much. And Tarah, do me a favor, sweetheart. When you see your beautiful wife, grab Leslie by the face, give her a big squeeze, and as I said, the doors are wide open. We love you guys. Thank you for being part of Jackie's Groove. Everybody, this is Jackie Bertoni, Jackie's Groove, and brought to you by Intertalk Radio Network. You guys, we'll talk soon. We'll talk offline, and I will send you the links to the interview to do what you must. All right, guys, thank you so much. As I finish up everything, I always say 3 most important words: peace through music. God bless, guys. Godspeed, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye now.
Thank you.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al DiMeola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?
Hi, this is Tim Dolbear from Eclectica Studios. I'm a full-time mixing and recording engineer. I work with Grammy winners, labels, and indie artists, using state-of-the-art digital mixing and restoration tools and the very best in analog gear. Really, though, it's my ability to bring tracks to life and fulfill your vision for your music. This has made me sought after by producers and artists worldwide. So spend your time working on music and not chasing a mix down a rabbit hole. Go to timdolbear.com and check out our free one-song mix offer.
You know what's all around you every waking moment of your life? Marketing. You're choking on it. I'm Scott Robertson, and when it comes to strategic PR, branding, and marketing, I've seen it all. And actually, I'm still seeing it because bad marketing never sleeps. Join me each week on May the Best Brand Win, right here on Intertalk Radio, and learn how to make the marketing for your brand unforgettable.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.